Hello families, my name is Casey Rust and I'm going to be your child's kindergarten teacher. I have taught 5th grade at RECA for the last 4 years, but prior to that, I have taught kindergarten in Knox County. I also interned in 1st grade in Oak Ridge schools and then also taught pre-K for many years prior to that. So this will be my 14th year in the classroom. And I have 2 sons that go to RECA as well. And I'm just so excited to be back in kindergarten, to be back to my roots, and to partner with you this year. I will say that these families you and your children will be surrounded by are very intentional in their child's academic growth. It's been such a joyous experience for my family, leaving the public school system and coming here and being able to be in a Christ-centered school. These families, they really do. They become the body of Christ and they become your friends and your family, and you're in a great, safe environment. And so are your kids, of course. So we make these videos so that you can watch it and feel equipped before the school year starts. Also, if you forget something, you can go back to the video and kind of rewind and see, oh, that's right, we have to do this. I will also give you this parent packet, so everything I'm going over today will also be in a packet form. However, the great thing about these videos is if for some reason you can't make it to parent in service, you have this as a backup. Or, and most importantly, you can watch this video, take some notes. If you're kind of like confused or need a little bit more clarification, bring those questions to me at parent in service and I can answer them for you. Okay? All right, so let's get started. So we're going to talk about curriculum. Then we will talk a little bit about classroom procedures. Oh, and we'll also kind of cover supplies as well. And how to pack the binder, what that looks like, especially starting in kindergarten. There's a lot of components to it, but it's once after the first week, I feel like you're gonna just do fine. You'll get in the groove. So let's get started. All right, so the first book is God's World book. Now this is my TE. Yours is going to be a consumable. This is our science curriculum. We will not use this every single day. I will post on weekly assignments when we will need this book. Some parents leave it in the backpack, all year long. That's fine. Or you can pack it when it's posted on the weekly assignments. All right. You will also have science and social studies weekly. They're like really thin magazine type sheets. I will provide those for you, so you do not have to pack those. And we won't do them every week. So if it's on the weekly assignments, don't stress about trying to find it at your house. I have those. So I will pack those for your home days as well as days that we do them in the classroom. All right, we need to go to our next book. This is Writing with Phonics. Now, this is the manuscript. It is not cursive, so make sure you don't order the cursive one. So this goes along with our phonics curriculum, mostly handwriting. Then we have our handbook for reading. This one might be a little bit outdated. Yours might be blue. It might be a little bit different as far as edition goes. This is essential. It's essential to our phonics program. I will assign pages on home days for this. There's lots of charts in the back that you will use again in 1st grade. So I highly, highly recommend you utilize this on your home days. Then we have my blend and word book right here. We will use this at the beginning of the school year. These are blend ladders. They really help once our students feel fluent in their letters and sounds. This is the next step where we start blending two sounds together. We also have our letters and sounds consumable. So this is our phonics program. So you will teach the lesson and then you will work with your student on these work text pages. Let's see. Okay, you will also have something called the basic phonics flashcards. They're really big, and you're probably like, where am I going to put these? We keep them in the dresser, and then we get them out. And my son's going to first grade this year. We used them all summer. And as you can see, there's lots of cards in here. There will be some that we won't get to in kindergarten. This goes all the way through second grade. So you need to utilize these on your home days every day. Expose your kids to them every day on the home days because it really does help them read fluently. Let's see. Next is our basic phonics reader set are these little books. Please put your child's name on the front because they will partner read. They'll read in the classroom, they'll fall on the floor, and I will not know who they belong to. So make sure you put your child's name on the front. We won't start these until closer to Christmas time. Put them somewhere safe, and I will post on the weekly assignments when we'll be starting them. And they aren't really numbered, so I will be really specific when I post them. So I will say, I learned to read book 2. And so, because there's other ones in here called, I learned to read book 3. So make sure you just read that title before you pack it in the binder. You will also need mini flashcards. They're little ABC flashcards from our curriculum. I think they have like a blue border. I don't have them here at my home. However, they come with our phonics curriculum and they're just ABC flashcards. And then we're going to move into math. So you have already, sorry about that. You have already purchased your math through RECA Tuition. So we will be getting your math books. This is the TE, but they have you'll be getting the consumable ones. You'll have 2, volume 1 and volume 2. So we'll do volume 1 up until Christmas. After Christmas, we'll switch to volume 2. So I will send those home with your student, or if they are available and ready, I can send them home during parent in-service. You will not get a hardback TE with that one. It'll actually be online, and I will go through that on the first week of school, how to find it. And I've actually enjoyed it over the years. My sons are in 1st and 4th, and it's once you get the hang of it, it's very easy to find the answer keys. Now you won't need it for kindergarten, but it has a lot of resources on there. So we will make sure you feel equipped. And then this year, we will be doing our Bible curriculum. This is the first year we're implementing this. So I'm going to see if you can actually send this, and I'll put it on the weekly assignments, send this in with your child, and I'll keep them at the school. I think I'll have enough room. We're only doing the curriculum on school days, so it won't be assigned for home days. On your home days, you will still have a scripture that we are memorizing. Okay, I think that's it for curriculum. Let's move into our supplies. So next is, hopefully you have found the supply list on my RECA under resources and started, gathering those things. So this is our binder, okay? we want you to have a binder. It can be 1/2 inch, or if you can't find that, just get a 1 inch. That's totally fine. But we want you to have the clear plastic pockets so that we can put some at-home resources that they can use, and even at school. So I will be putting a 100 chart in the back. So when you're at home and you're, doing your home days work and it has something to do with this, you can just flip over the binder. And then also it has kind of like a cheat sheet, talks about our letters and sounds. It has a number line, colors, that sort of thing. So that will be essential, just kind of like a homework cheat sheet helper. Then inside your binder, you're going to have 5 pocket dividers. And I don't really care what color they are, but I want you to be able to label very clearly the days of the week. So the first one, you can also put it on the tab, but as the year progresses, our students are going to learn the days of the week, and they're going to really utilize how to look through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and find the day that we're on to pull their pages out for that school day. So label it really big and bright with a Sharpie. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right. And then you will need a primary writing journal. This is different than just the basic composition book because, as you can see, it has room for them to draw their picture and then write their story. We won't be introducing this right away, so it might not be on the lesson plan. Just keep it in a safe place. Also, I purchased these off Amazon. They have them at Walmart for a little bit cheaper, but I think once school shopping is over, they kind of go out of stock. So just be aware of that. All right, and then your pencil box. Sorry, let's see. So just a basic pencil box. Now we do ask that you label them. So I found some stickers on Amazon and you could customize it and put it on there. You can use a Sharpie. You can do whatever you want. You can put some washi tape on there and just tell your child, okay, see this green tape? This one's yours. So whatever's easiest for you guys. Then inside the box, you need to have 2 pencils, a set of crayons, just the 10 count. Now, if you couldn't find the twistables, no worries. If you just have basic crayons, that's fine. 2 glue sticks, or maybe more than, let's see. I don't know if it's a couple of glue sticks in there, and then scissors. It might be helpful to have another pencil box at home because this will be going back and forth to school. And I may even collect these depending on storage. So if I have enough storage space, I might collect them and just keep them at school. So just make sure you have some extra glue sticks at home or some scissors in case they are doing work that they need those materials for. Oh, you'll also need a green ink pen to grade your child's work. So what you'll do, let's see, I think there's, yeah. After you have gone over the work with your child, you're just going to initial it at the top. And that shows me that you worked with your child on the work. And then I can look at it and I can look through, see how your child is doing on whatever assignment it is. And then I can just put a big check on it and send it back home. If your child's really struggling on something, maybe it's a phonics lesson and they've missed a lot, what I want you to do is in the lesson, go ahead and circle the ones that they had missed and then have them go back and they can erase it and put the correct answer so that I know, okay, we need to work a little bit closer at school on this particular strategy or skill or something like that. And then handwriting paper. I don't think I have handwriting paper with me. I want you to just keep a pack at home. It has the headline, waistline, and footline. You can get those at Dollar General or at Walmart, just a pack. We will assign work at home where they need to write their numbers or write their first and last name. and we want them to use that kind of paper. A glue bottle. If you can send in a glue bottle, just like an Elmer's glue bottle, put their initial on it, put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the front of their backpack. We will use those from time to time when we're not using glue sticks for crafts. So just make sure your child knows where it's at, because I might say, hey boys and girls, we are going to use our glue bottles today, and they're going to say, oh, it's not in my pencil box. Well, just make sure, and we'll check, but make sure they know that it's in like a certain pocket in their backpack. And I may have already said this, but please label all the materials in their box. Again, use a Sharpie. I've had to do it through RECA with my kids all through the years, and it is tedious, and if they can write their own initial, that's fine too. But yes, they need to have it labeled, because when things fall on the floor, I don't know who it belongs to, and this is their personal materials, so we want things labeled. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit into how to pack the binder, okay? So every week you will fill your child's binders with papers for the week. Now you have 3 books you need to worry about. This one, letters and sounds, and in my lesson plan, it's gonna say LS, and it's gonna be highlighted in orange so you know what pages to pull. So you'll have this book to pull from. You'll also have Writing with Phonics to pull from. And this one is going to be WWP. It'll also be highlighted in my lesson plans. So you'll see WWP page 1. And so you'll just open it up, go to page 1, and then you'll rip it out and you'll put it in Monday's section. And then our other book, I don't know if I mentioned this one, but the Think and Learn K5. So this will be TL. Again, I'll highlight it, and then you'll just pull a page from here. So inside, I think I left my lesson plans at home, but we'll make it work. So in my lesson plans, it might say Monday, you will need TL page 5, or WWP page 2, or LS page 1. And you will pull all of those for Monday, place them in your pocket. And then you'll go to Tuesday. You'll look at the Tuesday section, look for that orange highlighted section, because those are the pages you need to pull, put them in, and do that all the way to Friday. I will be placing on Tuesday, I may supplement and put things in for Friday. It'll already be on the lesson plans. You do not have to find that. It'll say, maybe it'll say cut and paste vowels, and it'll say it on the lesson plan, but don't feel like you're like, oh, I don't know where that is. I'll put it in the Friday section already. So once you turn to there, you'll say, oh, she's already been in here. Okay, so now I can just get out my Friday home day work for my child and then work on that with them. Oh, I forgot. And math. Yes, there's one more. So math. Remember, I will give you those volume books to keep at home. You will tear those out gently. Those papers are really thin, so tear them out. And if I have, let's say I say page 3, 4, and 5, you'll have to staple them together. It's just easier on me and the kids. They're not like flipping through papers. Papers aren't falling on the ground. And again, same organization as it'll say math, page 2, 3, and 4 on Monday. Tuesday, 5, 6, and 7. So it still goes in that particular order. Okay. And then as you saw in the binder earlier, I will put some reference pages in the front pocket, or in the front, with a clear protective sheet. So just keep them in there in the front. That way you can refer back to them to help you teach whatever lesson that we're doing throughout that week. Also, lots of parents like to print their lesson plans out and stick them in this little pocket right here, so that on Tuesday, when their child has to get their binder out, they can just pull it out. I'm letting you know they will not stay in there. They will fall out. So it might be easier if you buy a little protector sheet and stick it in there if you would like to do that. You don't have to. You can keep the plans at home. If you have a homeschool, room, you can post them on the wall. That way you have them for those Tuesdays and Fridays. But just know that if you put them in the binder, they might get lost if they're not in a protective sheet. All right, let's talk about lunch. We'll have lunch every day. We eat in the classroom and we get about 25 minutes to eat. Please refrain from bringing in pizza or nacho Lunchables just because they're super messy. We don't really have a sink to clean anything off. We're using lots of baby wipes and disinfectant wipes. But the cracker ones, if you want to bring those are just fine. Also, those fruit cups, be careful with those. It would be highly recommended if you poured the juice out at home, and then if you have a bento box, just threw the fruit in there. The kids, they fill that juice to the top, and when we peel it off, it just goes everywhere. And we really want to foster independence in kindergarten where they're able to open a lot of the things. Now, I will obviously be there to help open anything, or if you have Go-Gurts, I'll have some scissors to cut. Just remember that we are really practicing opening our own lunches. Keep that in mind. It's one of me and 12 of them. So if they have a really difficult lunch to open, it's going to take them a while and they're going to be hungry. So I think a great idea would be to, before school starts, pack a lunch and then even set a timer if you want and watch them open their lunches. Get in the habit of saying, you can do it. You got this. See that little tear? Tear it right there. There you go. Get in the habit of encouraging them to have more independence. Bring a water bottle every day. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning, but they will need a water bottle, and we only want water inside. We also want to make sure that water bottle has a foldable lid so that it doesn't spill. A lot of kids, they'll bring an actual plastic water bottle with a screw lid. Water will go everywhere. We also are not allowed to have juice or soda or anything, only water. Okay? Thank you. And if we have any food allergies, we will definitely make that known to you so that you can be very careful in what your child is, or what you're packing for your child that day. So let's talk about dress code. As you know, we will be wearing uniforms. So please dress your child in the appropriate uniform attire. For instance, the RECA polo shirt, or dress, or skirt. And then the boys, they can have khakis or pants. But we want you to always have them in tennis shoes every day because they will be going to PE every single day. And then we're on the floor all the time. And then think about if you have a little girl, make sure that they have shorts or leggings underneath their skirts. Just because, again, we'll be rolling around on the floor, we'll be partner reading, we'll be doing games. And you know how kindergartners are, they love to flip and squirm, and we just want to make sure they're fully covered. All right, let's talk about behavior in the classroom. So I set solid expectations and we practice continuously. I model those first months of school, 2 months of school, and students feel safe and they really strive for that structure. We create a family atmosphere where everyone feels valued and accepted, and I will use positive reinforcement and really point out the positive behaviors that your student is exhibiting, and will verbally affirm those behaviors out loud. I will, definitely be their little coach. And we are going to have it's like a punch card where if they get 10 punches, then they, because of all the positive behaviors such as listening the first time, raising their hand to speak, being kind, being respectful, those sorts of things, I will give them a little punch on their punch card. And then they get they get a little reward. Now, I am not going to do daily behavior grades. I am not going to send home daily, how did they do today? Because we all make mistakes. We all are living and learning and trying our very best, and it's just too much for me to keep up with. So if there is something that I am seeing that really needs to be addressed, I will shoot you an email, or I do have a blue sheet that talks about maybe a behavior that I'm seeing. I might send that home in the folder if I can remember to do that at the end of the day. It's very hectic. But that blue behavior sheet also has like materials, missing materials. Like for instance, it could be anything. It could say, Johnny was forgetting his pencil box this week. Can you please remember to return it so that he has it for next week, or something like that. So when you see that blue sheet, don't say, oh no, what did my child do? Remember, it's probably not always having to do with behavior. And again, like I said, we will address any behaviors that need to be addressed. And other than that, we're excited just to learn and grow together as a class. And let's talk about birthdays. So of course we celebrate birthdays. So if your child's birthday's coming up, we just ask that if you want to bring in something we'll eat during lunch, I will double check with you, or actually if you can shoot me an email, I'll let you know if there's any allergies to worry about. And we want whatever treat you want to bring in to be small. So not like big donuts, maybe the donut holes, or maybe like the really small cupcakes, something small that they can consume and they won't get too much sugar at school and they won't get a tummy ache. So keep that in mind. And then show and tell. So we have show and tell every Wednesday. So, and I will put this in the weekly assignments as well. And so as long as they bring something that can fit inside their backpack, that is not a living thing, and that won't be an incredibly crazy distraction. So even if they put it in their backpack and they hang it up on their hanger, we can still hear it going off, make sure it has an off button. So that sort of thing. And we also ask, like, if the girls like to wear accessories or bring a person, we ask that you guys try and keep any kind of toys they bring in at home, unless it's for show and tell. So make sure you talk with your child and say, this is for show and tell. Remember to keep it inside your backpack until Miss Rust announces it's time to show and tell, and then we'll show together. We don't want them to bring in a bunch of toys to school and that be a distraction and for them to lose them. So keep that in mind. All right, I know this video is so long. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I look forward to meeting you and your sweet child at the Parent in Service. And I'm so excited just to partner with you. This will be an amazing year. We're gonna have a lot of fun and we're gonna see so much growth. So I will see you soon.